Uh, Hello everyone who's catching in on the recording of this. I'm streaming at the same time I am live. Hopefully it doesn't lag that much, but I just wanted to talk about my one fear for Plants vs Zombies Battle for Neighborville. And this is unscripted, so it's not gonna be very structured or anything. The one thing I'm worried about for Battle for Neighborville is the population on the PC community. And the reason why I say that is because Garden Warfare 1 and Garden Warfare 2 suffered in terms of population on PC. Side note, matches are usually found only on Turf Takeover in Garden Warfare 1 and Garden Warfare 2 on PC. And that's for a few reasons, and I hope that, PopCap will try to do as best they can to keep the PC population alive later on, at least so the game can go on as much as they can. I think the reasons why Garden Warfare 1 and Garden Warfare 2 lost popularity is because the way that it was handled is kind of hard. So Garden Warfare 1, I think people left it because Garden Warfare 2 released, and they wanted to play the brand spanking new game, obviously. Garden Warfare 2, I think, is for different reasons. So, definitely post-launch support. At the beginning of the game, there was definitely support, but the problem is there are always problems arising left and right, and so it was hard to keep people interested. Not to mention that in the same year that Garden Warfare 2 released, another shooter came out, which is Overwatch, and seeing all the problems with Rose, the character balancing in Garden Warfare 2, like Rose, Scientist Trio, Electro Brains, AC Parry, Citrons, Colonel Corns. There was a whole bunch of balancing issues at the beginning of the game, and it took months to fix most of those issues. Like, it took a very long time for them to fix the Electro Brains bug when they could have just released a hotfix instead of releasing like a whole big major update. And I think that was a very detrimental to the game. And it attracted more people to Overwatch. And why am I saying like Overwatch isn't on consoles is because most people on Overwatch are on PC. And I think that's what made a lot of people leave the PC community, at least the Garden Warfare community, and that caused people to leave. So what PopCap could do differently, maybe not differently, but at least better for Battle for Neighborville is listening to the community. They did listen to the community, but they kind of did the wrong changes. They do all the right post-launch support, and they fix the game. They try to make it as balanced as possible at the beginning, and try to keep all the near future, at least, and the far future also have a variety of content while keeping its balance. So because people are going to get very tired of the old, and we're going to have to also maintain the balance so it doesn't make people lose interest in the game. They might have already thought of a launch date, but I just hope that they don't release it at this near another major shooter that is similar to Garden Warfare 2. Because Overwatch, it is pretty different from Garden Warfare 2, but it is classified as a class shooter. Both of them are. And so, seeing that Garden Warfare 2 wasn't really balanced that often, people went over to Overwatch because it's the brand spanking new game. It was hyped a lot, it was advertised a lot. Garden Warfare 2 did have a lot of advertisement. I think they did well on that point. But again, it was just the balancing. And it was just pretty similar. And if you would want to play the better game, then you would probably want to play Overwatch and play the brand spanking new game. Right now, what comes to mind is not many shooters that are very similar to Battle for Neighborville that are releasing. I didn't finish the thought here. What I meant to say is that there are not many shooters that are similar to Battle for Neighborville that are releasing around the same time, though we don't know the actual launch date of Neighborville yet. Probably another Call of Duty is going to come out in 2020, but I don't think it's going to be all that it's going to detract it from the community because, one, Call of Duty is mainly mainly played at consoles, not really PC. And obviously the PS4 support it's receiving is immense. So obviously people are going to be playing mostly on the PS4, which is not going to detract from the PC community. I don't think Cyberpunk 2020 is going to... Cyberpunk 2077 is going to really bring it far apart, because it is... Cyberpunk 2077 is a single-player game. Battle for Neighborville is a multiplayer game with some single-player quests, but it is definitely not the main focus. It is mainly probably mainly going to be a multiplayer game, and because of that, Cyberpunk 2077 is a single-player game, and so they're pretty different genres. So I don't think that's going to detract people from playing Battle for Neighborville. Honestly, they just have to launch it at a good time. They have to provide good post-launch support, balancing the game, and they have to do one more thing I did not mention: good advertising, or at least exposing people to the game, because as it stands, it is very early in its reveal. It didn't receive an official reveal. It was kind of just talked about within mainly Garden Warfare communities and the EA playtesting. I know that they're doing another playtest for PC, which is great for exposing it, but then again, Origin is not the first game distribution market that people go to on PC. It's Steam. But, I mean, at least that will expose and advertise a little bit. I hope, I don't know, maybe it's a bit too, I don't know when the game is going to launch. If it's not launching if it's not launching after E3, then I think it's great to have an E3 trailer, just like the other Garden Warfare, to get exposure. Even if it releases near that time, I think it's great for that. Anyways, that's all I have to say about Battle for Neighborville, and that's my one fear about it. So I just hope that the PC population is populated enough so I can play games other than Turf Takeover, which I'm tired of playing all the time. And the way the PopCap can do that is ample exposure and advertising, good post-launch support by balancing the game and making sure that the launch date doesn't but get into other games that might steal its spotlight. Anyways, thank you for watching. If you're tuning in the YouTube video on the stream, I'm continuing the stream, and I will see you next time.